Hare Krishna devotee. Just give me a couple of minutes. I just got a call and just need to deal with it. Sridevi Mataji, I saw your message. Yeah, if you're busy, that's fine. No problem. Please, if you need anything urgent to attend to, please carry on. Thank you. Others, just give me a few minutes. I just quickly sort out something. Yeah, Haribo. Hare Krishna. So sorry. Uh, just trying to check the view broadcast. Third. Oh, it is. Okay, right. So my apologies. Had to attend to that particular matter. So let us start the katha for today. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं Sagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savadhutam Prajana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Saganalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shubhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामी नामिने नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी परिचारिणी विशेषण्यवादी मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत् Hare Krishna. So today is a double auspicious day. Apart from being the Damodar Kartik month, it is also the disappearance tithi of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So let us start by offering our uh, unlimited gratitude, our respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace. Actually, it is only because of His grace that we are having this opportunity today, both in terms of the content and also in terms of the association. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even though the most important manifestation, appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original Personality of Godhead, uh, was so obscure to the world at large until Srila Prabhupada made Gaur Nitai's names and Radha Krishna's names and Hare Krishna a household word. So he's a saint uh, beyond compare. So saints are not measured by how many years they live, what magical feats they can show. Even demons can show magical feats. The test of a true empowered soul is how many other souls can he transform, become saints. So this level of transformation across the world, the one that Srila Prabhupada has achieved, is unforeseen in the history of mankind. No founder of any religion has spread his teachings to this level and brought about transformation to this level, both geographically and also in terms of the depth and the amount of transformation. Transforming hippies into happies, transforming those who had no background in Vedic culture to within a few years becoming sannyasis and preaching all over the world. This is like practically out of a fantasy movie. So anyway, so much can be spoken about him. Today is a wonderful day to meditate. Let us offer our respectful obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, our Param Guru and the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and seek his blessings uh, that he may bless us, that we may be able to imbibe the teachings that he has painstakingly taken efforts to give to this world, that by his grace we can overcome all obstacles and not only transform our own lives, but in some way become an instrument of compassion in his broader mission to bring others also closer to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada would often say, any service in the association of devotees, especially in a society like ISKCON, is for preaching. because it's a whole machinery of preaching. It doesn't matter whether one is doing DT worship, one is doing pujari work, cooking work. It's not just giving classes preaching. All services are preaching because it's a whole machinery. Just like in a car, every part of the car is directly or indirectly helping in the service of going from one place to another. Even the mirror. I'm talking the side mirrors, rear view mirrors. Everything is somehow or the other facilitating the overall purpose of the car. Uh, of course, I mean, it would be nice on these days to discuss exclusively about these occasions, but I'm resisting that temptation because in our Krishna consciousness, there are so many festivals every other day, then we will never be able to progress on our study subject. So I encourage all of you on these special occasions. Of course, I will make an effort to briefly draw our meditation and our gratitude to these great personalities. So we seek their blessings, but in detail to hear about their pastimes, please listen to the innumerable classes which have been broadcast throughout the day, throughout the world today. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada, and may your grace continue to shower on us, and may we always remain humble servants of your lotus feet. So coming back to the topic today, we are continuing our discussion on Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are on the 16th chapter of the Madhya Lila, the Lord's attempt to go to Vrindavan. We already discussed 2 classes, discussed almost 200 verses, and Krishna willing, Mahaprabhu willing, it is our aim today to complete the summary discussion of the rest of the chapter as part. So again, a very quick recap. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Puri, wanting so much to go to Braja, finally got permission from Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and then he headed from Puri. King Pratap Rudra and the government officials made so many arrangements, and we discussed how he crossed across Orissa and was accompanied by the government officials. All arrangements being made for him at every place, because he was traveling with, quite a few close associates, and all arrangements, 6, 7 new homes created, kitchen stocked up wherever the Lord would go. But of course, all this assistance continued all the way up to the border of the Orissa kingdom. After that, the Lord was warned, you are now entering the territory where a Muslim governor has his dominion. And we also discussed in the last class how this Muslim governor, he was somehow so transformed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's darshan and his influence. He himself fell at the lotus feet of the Lord and begged for his mercy. So that was a very, very interesting episode of how he got transformed. And then this drunkard Muslim governor who had a terrible reputation of being cruel to the Hindu sadhus personally escorts Lord Chaitanya on a boat, surrounded by many other boats full of guards, so that no pirates, no dacoits will attack the convoy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Personally renders this kind of a service. And then finally the Lord enters Bengal. So the Lord's plan was that he's going to Vrindavan. I'll go across Orissa, of course, enter Bengal. And, I have not met the Bengali devotees also for some time. So I'll take the opportunity to meet. I will take the opportunity to meet Sachi Mata. So the Lord's thought process was, I'll go to Bengal, I will meet these devotees, and then from there I will go to Vrindavan Dham. So the next destination, so we are continuing the Lord's sojourn. Now, this is a very interesting thing. By the way, this chapter is entitled that the Lord attempts to go to Vrindavan. So the word attempt means, as you understand, the Lord is not going to be very successful in this attempt. That's the hint. the title of the chapter. So why and how we will discuss that as time goes, as the chapter progresses. But the Lord now has entered into the Bengal area, and the first place that is mentioned here is that the Lord reached a place known as Panihati. Panihati is on the bank of the Ganges, and today it's a very prominent tirtha. That's the place where Raghunath Das Goswami gets the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and of Lord Nityananda. And Panihati Dham is also the place which is the residence of Raghav Pandit and Damayanti, the brother sister duo who are expert cooks. So it's a very beautiful place. I think many devotees, probably many of you have also visited that. It's across the Ganges, very close to Calcutta. Just across the Ganges. Huge. The Ganges there is today very wide. So the Lord went across the Ganges on a boat, and then he disembarked at Sri Panihati Dham. As he disembarked, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, his upper cloth, Lord Chaitanya gave as a gift to the boatman, Mahaprasad. So, the Mahaprasad of great souls, the remnants used by great souls, of whatever nature, whether it is cloth, whether it is their personal belongings, are all infused with the transcendental potency of the great devotees or the personality of Godhead himself. So it's all considered Mahaprasad. So that boatman was very fortunate to receive the personal garments of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as soon as the news of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival at Panihati, hundreds and hundreds of men gathered there. Lord Chaitanya's fame had already spread quite a lot across Bengal and Orissa. And then Raghav Pandit gathered there, because Raghav Pandit came there to escort the Lord to his home, receive him and serve him. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says Raghav Pandit had a hard time escort Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the crowds of Panihati all the way to his home, even though it was not very far, because so many in the crowd wanted to continuously approach the Lord and take his darshan and fall at his feet. Finally, with great difficulty, he reached the house of Raghav Pandit. It is said Lord Chaitanya spent one day staying at the house of Raghav Pandit. Not long, only one. The next day morning, it is said the Lord proceeded further from Panihati and he went to the house of Shrivas Thakur, which was at Kumarahatta. So Shrivas Thakur had a few places. There's the Shrivas Angan in Mayapur, but Shrivas Thakur also has another home, which is said to be in a place known as Kumarahatta. So from the house of Shrivas Thakur at Kumarhatta, the Lord visited the house of Shivananda Sen. So these are all great devotees. Every year come from Bengal. They all know Lord Chaitanya from Lord Chaitanya's young days. They are practically like his extended family, the close inner circle of devotees. So he visits the house of Shivananda Sen, then he visits the house of Vasudeva Datta, all these very great intimate devotees. And then the Lord went and visited the house of another very great devotee whose name is Vidyavachaspati. So it is said when the Lord went to the house of Vidyavachaspati, even though it's not mentioned in the verse here, this house of Vidyavachaspati is, I believe, in the place known as Koladweep. It is in Vidyanagar. It is said that the news of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance spread so much that hundreds and thousands of people came to take the darshan of Lord Chaitanya. It is said the house of Vidyavachaspati there was not many access routes in terms of very good roads to approach and come to the house of Vidyavachaspati. But the crowds were so huge that they cut through the forest and cleared the forest. And in that way, new roads were created just by the crowds who were rushing to the house of Vidyavachaspati. And it was quite a chaotic thing. Hundreds of devotees were, taking the boats and crossing the Ganga to come to the house of Vidya Vachaspati, and some were so eager to come, it is said, to the house of Vidya Vachaspati that they were not even waiting for the boat because there were not enough boats. They were just swimming across the Ganges. So there was this kind of a crazy. So sometimes in this material world also we see this kind of a craze when some very big famous rock star, film star comes to a place, and sometimes people show this kind of craze. But this kind of craze is worthy when the object of this craze is the Supreme Lord or a pure devotee. And that eagerness will actually bear a positive result. Otherwise, it is just craziness, huh? Bewilderment by Maya. So, it was so crazy, it was so crowded. Then finally, Lord Chaitanya decided that this is too much. This is creating too much disturbance. So the Lord, it is said, he went from there and went to the place known as Kulia Gram, which is another village. And after they went, and all these devotees, some had darshan of Lord Chaitanya, some hadn't had. They were so angry with Vidya Vachaspati. And finally, Vidya Vachaspati had to tell that, the Lord has gone to Kulia. So thousands of devotees went and followed and went to Kulia to see Lord Chaitanya. It is said Lord Chaitanya stayed in Kulyagram for 7 days. And you know why Kulia Dham is famous? It is said the place known as Kulia Dham is famous because it is said Lord Chaitanya there for 7 days delivered all kinds of aparadhis, offenders, and sinful. That was a very, very special pastime. So Kulia is amongst the places of the Lord's pastimes, Kulia is especially famous for forgiveness of offenses. There are few places in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes which are famous or which have a special mercy in terms of the forgiveness, especially from offenses. So one is the ashram of Devananda Pandit, that is known as the Aparadha Bhanjan place. Then the Lord's house in Navadvip, Dhameshwar Mahaprabhu, is also said to be very special in terms of blessings to become free from offenses. And this is another place, Kulia. So many people would come. And why it is said offenses? Because after the Lord took sannyas, even though it's not mentioned here, it is explained that when the Lord took sannyas, eventually many, many residents of the Navadvip area realized their mistake, that they had not appreciated Lord Chaitanya properly. In fact, many of them had committed offenses and criticized him. If you remember, one of the main reasons Lord Chaitanya took sannyas was because many were offending him, treating him as if he's an ordinary person. The Lord was thinking, if this is how they're going to treat me, then how my mission will become successful? So the Lord was forced to break the hearts of his devotees, his dear mother, his dear wife, and take the sannyas ashram. So many of them took the opportunity, now that Lord Chaitanya had come back, first time after his sannyas, come back to Bengal, come back to the broader Navadvip area. He fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya and begged of forgiveness. Please, please. We didn't recognize you. Now we understand who you are. Please forgive us. And this is the beauty of the Lord. And this is the beauty of the pure devotees. That when a person, even after he has committed a serious offense, if somebody genuinely and humbly falls at the feet of the Lord or the devotee, then both the Lord as well as the pure devotee are very mercifully inclined to forgive the faults of the living entity and give them another opportunity to make further progress. So 7 days this happened. So after the Lord left Kulia, it is said the Lord went and visited Advaitacharya's house in Shantipur. If you remember, after the Lord took sannyas, the Lord first visited Advaitacharya's house in Shantipur. Remember, that is where Sachimata was then brought, and then he was instructed he should go to Puri and not go to Vrindavan. right? So now after a long time, after a few years, finally the Lord is back in Shantipur in the house of Advaitacharya. And it is said the Lord stayed there for a good 10 days. When Lord Chaitanya was staying in Shantipur, in Advaita Acharya's house, Advaita Acharya made sure that Sachi Mata came over to Shantipur so that she would personally get Lord Chaitanya's association and she would get the opportunity to cook for him. And in that way, she became relieved from the intense misery of separation, the transcendental misery. I'm saying transcendental because, like what we have discussed earlier, the pain of separation is also a kind of ecstasy. It is extreme pain, but it is ecstatic pain. Conditioned souls like us may not be able to appreciate this sufficiently. But unlike material pain, everything on the transcendental platform is very, very special. And nothing is influenced by the modes of nature. So, 10 days Lord Chaitanya spent in Shantipur. Krishna's Kaviraj especially says that, many of these episodes, including what all happened in Shantipur, also after Shantipur, the Lord visited a place known as Ramakeli, where he met Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis. Then he visited a place known as Kanai Natashala. Kanai Natashala is where Narsingananda Prabhu, how he performed the beautiful pastime as the Lord was traveling to Kanai Natashala by decorating the path with jewels. All these beautiful pastimes have been described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, I'm not going to describe all these pastimes in detail. I'm just mentioning that I don't want this book to become too big. So I'm just briefly mentioning because in chronology, this is how it happened. The Lord went to Shantipur, 10 days in Shantipur. After that, he went to Kanai Natshala, to Ramakeli, then Kanai Natshala, and then he returned to Shantipur on the way back. And okay, sorry, by the way, one correction. The Lord staying for 10 days in Shantipur was on the way back and not on the way forward. Stayed for 10 days. So, at Ramakeli, actually the Lord was not planning to go to Ramakeli from an external itinerary plan perspective. But the Lord especially went to Ramakeli just to meet and deliver these two great devotees were Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. They were not known as Rupa and Sanatan at that time. Lord Chaitanya named them as Rupa and Sanatan. They were Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. They were ministers in the Muslim government there. So that's also a very, very beautiful pastime of what happened at Ramakeli. I will discuss that another day. It is not described here in great detail. But that's a very, very beautiful pastime. Because that is where both of them fell at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, Rupa and Sanatan, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik, and begged the Lord, please deliver us from material existence. We are uselessly wasting our lives. That is how those who are truly spiritually advanced, they feel when they are simply engaged in material affairs, they see the useless futility of material endeavor. Somehow for us, rather than looking, to end our material activity and become fully absorbed in Krishna, we are often just thinking of continuing our material activity again and again. But these multi-millionaires, billionaires, like Roop and Sanatan, they were ministers of Bengal at that time. Not ordinary ministers, Prime Minister and Finance Minister, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. And the king loved them so much and they were so expert in administration. The king wouldn't let them go and they were just thinking and praying to the Lord, how we'll be free from this situation. Even though it's not mentioned here, I've heard that they didn't want the service of the governor, but the governor had threatened them that if you give up my service, I will persecute the Hindus if you run away. So they were, like in a dharma sankat. They didn't know what to do. So anyway, that's a very elaborate, detailed story, but uh, important for us to note the hankering of the great soul when I will be liberated from my material duties, that I can exclusively focus. Those who do not have that kind of a taste, they just continue their material activities on and on and on and on. Those who are having this kind of attitude, we'll also be discussing shortly about Raghunath Das Goswami. He was also having that attitude. But Sanatan were very young at this time. They were nowhere near their retirement age. Very young. Raghunath Das Goswami was a young boy. Though his age is not mentioned, he was probably in his teens. And wealth like crazy, fame like crazy. But they were just thinking how I will escape this material trap. Amazing. So that's a very, very beautiful story of Rup and Sanatan. And eventually, Rup and Sanatan, of course, uh, were delivered and they eventually joined Lord Chaitanya in. They come to Puri and spend some time, and then they are sent to Vrindavan and all that. So a lot of beautiful pastimes happened. So anyway, so the Lord went to Ramkeli, then he came back. He spent some time in Shantipur, and in Shantipur on the way back, when he stayed for 10 days, Raghunath Das came to meet him. Raghunath Das. Who's Raghunath Das? One of the six Goswamis. Vande Rupa Sanatanam Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. There were two Raghus. Raghuyugau. So one of them is Raghunath Das. And there is Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives some background about Raghunath Das Goswami. So there were two brothers in the place known as Saptagram. Saptagram is an area. Saptagram literally means the 7 villages. So there's an area in Bengal which used to be known as Saptagram. So that Saptagram community was predominated by the Suvarna Vanik community. So it's a Kayastha community. Kayastha is a caste which is sometimes classified as Vaishya, sometimes classified as Kshatriya. They are usually doing either secretarial or accounting work for very rich people. So there were these two brothers, Hiranya Majumdar and Govardhan Majumdar, who were residents of Saptagram, and they were from the Kayastha community and they were landlords. Very, very opulent, but at the same time extremely magnanimous and dharmic. Very well behaved, very devoted to Brahmanical culture, giving so much charity, exceptionally religious and spiritual. So much charity they would give that practically all the Brahmanas from the whole Navadvip area were practically dependent on the charity of Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar. You know how rich they were? How rich they were? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentions their annual income. In those days, 500 years ago, their annual income was 1.2 million rupees. And now you may think 1.2 million rupees is not a lot. This is not today's 1.2 million rupees. It's 500 years ago's 1.2 million rupees. Even 100 years ago, people didn't even have a salary of 1 or 2 rupees for a whole month, and still they would be considered very well-to-do. So I do not know what would be the equivalent in terms of 500 years ago, or what that would be. but they were billionaires, billionaires by modern calculation. Not millionaires, billionaires. Extremely, extremely rich, filthy rich, so to say. And they were all very closely connected. They were very good devotees. They were closely connected, both Hiranya Mazumdar and Govardhan Mazumdar. Govardhan Mazumdar was the father of Raghunath Das Goswami. And Nilambar Chakravarti, the grandfather, was the mother, who was the father of Sachimata, Nilambar Chakravarti. Huh? He was very close to these two brothers. In fact, these two brothers worshipped and respected Nilambar Chakravarti so much. And Nilambar Chakravarti would treat these two brothers, Hiranya and Govardhan Mazumdar, all like his own brothers. And also, these two brothers were very close to Purandar Mishra, also known as Jagannath Mishra, the father of Lord Chaitanya. So the Lord knew them very well. There was very close, affectionate family relationships between this Majumdar family and the Mishra family, Lord Chaitanya's family. So Raghunath Das was the son of Govardhan Majumdar. Very beautiful, very good-looking child. He was a young boy, but right from his earliest age, totally detached from all material association. He was totally uninterested in material enjoyment. The only heir of a billionaire empire. He was going to inherit everything. Unlimited opulence. He just wants something, it will come. Their wealth was like crazy. He can walk and gold coins drop at every step also, no loss for him. That kind of crazy wealth he had. But totally detached. Govardhan Mazumdar and his brother, both of them were Hiranya and Govardhan, were both very worried why Raghunath Das has no interest in material life. To get him trapped in material life, they forcibly got him married to an extremely beautiful young girl. It is said she was more beautiful than the Apsaras of heaven. Extremely beautiful girl. But still, it had no impact on Raghunath Das whatsoever. So when Lord Chaitanya came to Shantipur, Raghunath Das was very keen to go and meet Lord Chaitanya. He had already heard about Lord Chaitanya. Of course, they are from the Saptagram, they are from the Bengal area. Lord Chaitanya's family had close relationships with their family. So they were also very close through other devotees such as, Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya was very close to Govardhan Majumdar. And Advaitacharya was very merciful to them. And so many other devotees who were Lord Chaitanya's close associates had very close, affectionate relationships with this particular family. Raghunath Das had for many, many times, when Lord Chaitanya was in Puri, tried to run away from his home to go and join Lord Chaitanya and become a mendicant in Puri. He had actually run away from home. And every time he would run away from home, his parents would send guards behind him and capture him and bring him back. It is said all the times he had 5 bodyguards around him so that he would not run away. He would have two Brahmana cooks, a few other attendants, I think 3 attendants, and like servants, and 5 bodyguards. So total of 10 would always be watching him. He should not run away. Multiple attempts he had made to run away, but every time he would run away, try to go to Puri, he would get caught before he could reach Lord Chaitanya, and he would be brought back. So they were trying, his family was trying very hard to make Raghunath Das Goswami become interested in the landlord business that they were running, that huge billionaire empire that they had. this man had no interest. There was and it's not that they were materialistic. I mean, they were rich, but they were very religious, very devotional. They accepted Lord Chaitanya. They were not demoniac. Huh? But they wanted Raghunath Das to become a penny and pounds man. Penny and pound man. Penny and shilling man. Get married, grow the family business, become a tycoon, expand the business, have children. Raghunath Das had interest in pursuing this path whatsoever. So Raghunath Das, when he came to know that Lord Chaitanya is traveling in Bengal and now he is visiting Shantipur and he's staying at the house of Advaita Acharya, couldn't resist the temptation. Lord Chaitanya is so close by. Saptagram is in Bengal. This place is so close by. He really, really wanted to go and visit. So he begged his father, please, please, just I want your permission. Please allow me to go and take darshan of Lord Chaitanya. I will come back. I have no intention of running away. So after a lot of coaxing, Govardhan Majumdar agreed. He said, I will let you go, but you have to come back very soon. And you have to take all your entourage of 10, your 5 guards and your cooks and your attendants with you so that they can watch you. I said, okay, no problem. I will go. Yeah. So Raghunath Das went to the house of Advaita Acharya where Lord Chaitanya was staying and he fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya. Finally, he got the opportunity to take darshan of Lord Chaitanya and fall at his feet. He was crying in ecstatic love. And Lord Chaitanya allowed him to touch his lotus feet and embraced him and gave him so much mercy. So, for many days, Raghunath Das stayed there, and every day, Advaita Acharya, who was also very, very affectionate to Raghunath Das, he engaged him in Lord Chaitanya's service. Somehow or the other, he would give him that association of Lord Chaitanya. Not only association, but after the Lord had partaken his meals, the remnants of Lord Chaitanya's Mahaprasad he would give to Raghunath Das. And Raghunath Das, that way 5 or 7 days, every day he would be having the association of the Lord and get the opportunity to eat the Mahaprasad of Lord Chaitanya. Can you imagine what kind of a good fortune this is? Finally, Lord Chaitanya, after having stayed there for 10 days, the Lord bid farewell to Raghunath Das. And the Lord left Shantipur and he headed back to Jagannathpur. The Lord did not go to Vrindavan. Of course, why? We will come to that discussion in a short while because it goes in that particular sequence. Anyway, it is said Raghunath Das, after that brief association, Lord Chaitanya was fused with spiritual energy. He felt so blessed. It is said he went back home in ecstatic love. He was mad, ecstatic love. So, of course, the 11 attendants of the Lord were still, of Raghunath Das were still there. Actually, there were 4 attendants, 5 guards and 2 of 11, not 10. So, finally receiving the Lord's blessings. Actually, Lord Chaitanya, when Raghunath Das Goswami came there and Raghunath Das Goswami was begging at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, I cannot live like this anymore. I want to come and serve you, but I'm unable to. Please instruct me what I should do. I want to give up the world. So, Lord Chaitanya understood the mind of Raghunath Das, because Raghunath Das was, his mind continues to think how I can run away by becoming free from my watchmen and how I can accompany Lord to Nilachal. So the Lord pacified Raghunath Das before the Lord left for Nilachal. He said, be patient. Don't act like a madman. Don't be impatient. You return home for now. Now don't try to run away again. Don't be a crazy fellow. Go back home. Externally, you act as if you are an ordinary businessman. But inside, continue to remain detached and worship Radha and Krishna. For now, enjoy the material world in a befitting way, following all the regulative principles, following all dharmic rules, you do your duties, but don't become attached. Within your heart, you remain attached to my service and to the service of Radha Krishna. If you do like this, very soon Krishna will be very pleased with you, and Krishna will give his blessings and deliver you from the clutches of Maya. Then very soon a time will come that you will be able to become free from this situation at Saptagram and come to me and join me in Nilachal. When exactly that will happen, how you should leave your home, how you will be able to leave your home, don't worry about that too much right now. When the right time comes, Krishna will give you the intelligence of when to do it and what to do and how to do it. You are so devoted to Krishna, you will surely get Krishna's blessings. And for someone who has received Krishna's mercy, no one can check him. So in that way, the Lord consoled Raghunath Das Goswami, gave his blessings, and that really gave a lot of hope to Raghunath Das. That yes, I will soon achieve the Lord's association. And because of that, he actually peacefully went back to his home. And after he went back to his home, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says a very interesting thing happened, that he was no longer very restless. He was nicely doing his duties because he knew Lord Chaitanya told, just continue. And very soon a time will come. So he had that faith that very soon that time will come. So he was very peaceful. He was no longer trying to run away. He was doing his duties very nicely. And Govardhan and Hiranya Mazumdar were thinking, Arey, Raghunath Das has become a good boy now. His initial enthusiasm to run away has disappeared. Looks like, Lord Chaitanya's association has had a positive impact on him. So they all started feeling confident that he will not run away. In fact, he was behaving so nicely and so responsibly that even the 10, 11 attendants that he had around him, they also became a bit relaxed. They were not watching over him so scrutinizingly anymore. Their guard became lowered down. And this in due course helped Raghunath Das Goswami to escape. So that we are not going to discuss because that's not described in detail in this particular chapter. But just to indicate that in due course the time came when they didn't suspect, and at that time Raghunath Das Goswami left home and attained the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya in Ram. So as Lord Chaitanya was leaving from Advaitacharya's home, he actually gathered, Advaitacharya, Nityanand Prabhu, all the devotees. He embraced them. He sought their permission. And he made one request to all the Bengal devotees. He said, now I have come to Bengal and spent time with all of you. So I'm requesting all of you this year, don't come to Puri. Every time you come to Puri and spend the Chaturmas 4 months there. So this time no need to come because I have personally come here and spent time with you. I actually wanted to go to Vrindavan. Lord Chaitanya tells all these devotees, Advaitacharya and others, but this time I have decided not to go to Vrindavan. I have decided to go back to Puri for now without going to Vrindavan. And then he gave an explanation why. He gave an explanation why. Of course, the Lord also took permission from Sachi Mata before he went back to Jagannath Puri. And the explanation of why the Lord did not go to Jagannath Puri, to Vrindavan Dham at that particular time, he explained after he returned back to Nilachal. Sorry, he didn't explain here, but he explained to Gadadhar Pandit after he went back to Nilachal. Went to Nilachal, he met the devotees at Nilachal, especially Kashi Mishra, Ramanand Rai, Pradyumna, Sarvam Bhattacharya, Vaininath Rai, Shiki Mahiti, all of them had come. Gadadhar Pandit was there. He also came and met the Lord. And then he explained to all these devotees, I wanted to go to Vrindavan, but something interesting happened. that whenever I was in Bengal, wherever I would go, thousands of devotees were following me. Thousands would come to me, and there would be so much crowds. Wherever I would go, the roads and the gardens would be destroyed. If I would stay at some place, so many people would come and crowd there to see me that they would literally climb over the walls of the home that I was staying in, and they would sometimes break down the walls. That way, so much of commotion and chaos. Huh? Wherever I would look, I would only see huge crowds. So when I went to the town of Ramkeli, where I met these two brothers, Roop and Sanatan, who are such great devotees, who are suitable recipients of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, so great in their devotion, in their intelligence, in their strength, and so very humble. I met them and gave blessing that Krishna will soon deliver you. At that time, when I was leaving from Ramkeli and trying to come back to Shantipur, at that time, Sanatan Goswami, he told me that, oh Lord, you are wanting to go to Vrindavan, but you are being accompanied by thousands of people who are following you continuously. It is not appropriate for a person to go to Vrindavan like this, the huge entourage of thousands of people. And Lord Chaitanya says, I heard this comment of Sanatan Goswami and I didn't say anything. I was quiet for then, but then after that, after visiting Ramakeli, I went to Kanai Natshala. At Kanai Natshala, I was reflecting over what Sanatan said, and when I saw the crowds at Kanai Natshala also, then I realized that yes, this is not a good idea. Vrindavan is a place of going in solitude and sitting there and being absorbed in bhajan. Just see the example of Madhavendra Puri. He went there alone, and there he saw the Lord Gopal and he gave him milk. So that is our tradition. And what is this? I am going to Vrindavan with thousands of people, drums beating and a procession and this, this is not the way. As if, some great master, some great magician is going. This is not good. One should not go to Vrindavan with so many men. So I have resolved that I don't want to go to Vrindavan now because wherever I go, people will follow me. So this time, I have decided to come back to Neelachal, temporarily suspend my trip to Vrindavan, and then later go to Vrindavan alone. Either I will go alone or at most I will take one person with me. So uh, I will not go to Vrindavan. And then very laughingly he says, oh, I displeased Gadadhar Pandit and sent him back. That's why Krishna did not allow me to go to Vrindavan. Very sweetly Lord Chaitanya says, as if he was not able to go to Vrindavan because he committed a offense towards Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is laughing, oh Lord, what you are saying? You are talking about going to Vrindavan, but wherever you are, that place is Vrindavan. Lord, you are the Supreme Lord. Wherever the Lord is there, his dham is there. You are just, acting as if you are an ordinary person. But where you stay is Vrindavan. You are going to Vrindavan not because you need to go. You are trying to set an example as an ideal devotee of the eagerness that a devotee should have to go to Vrindavan. So that others follow your example. Oh Lord, I have just one request. Yes, you want to go to Vrindavan, you want to go alone, all is good, but rainy season is again just about to start. So please wait for the Chaturmas again. You remain in Puri for 4 months. After the 4 months are over, again after around the time of Diwali, you can go. And all other devotees also, they said, yes, yes, whatever Gadadhar is saying, is right. Prataprudra Maharaj also became very happy. Yes, yes, oh Lord, this is very good idea. You stay for 4 months in Puri. Don't go, don't go. So Lord Chaitanya, seeing that all the devotees are making this request, he agreed that I'll wait for 4 months. So that day itself, Gadadhar Pandit invited Lord Chaitanya to his home, his ashram, where he would stay at Tota Gopinath temple, and he cooked for the Lord's pleasure. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and he took his lunch along with other devotees as cooked by Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit very affectionately offered most excellent prasad, Lord Chaitanya. So in this way, many beautiful pastimes happened. And this brings us to the conclusion of this particular chapter, where Lord Chaitanya attempted to go to Vrindavan. He went all the way through Orissa, Bengal, Ramkeli, Shantipur, Kanai Natshala, and eventually turned back and came back to Jagannath Puri. Finally saying that, no, I will go alone another day. So that another day comes, the Lord again makes an attempt, and that we'll discuss in the next chapter. But this brings us to the conclusion of this particular chapter. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami concludes this chapter by saying that in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performs his pastimes which are unlimited and unfathomable. Somehow or other, these have been briefly described. It is not possible to describe them elaborately. Although Lord Ananta is always describing the pastimes of the Lord with thousands of mouths, he also cannot reach the end of the Lord's pastimes. What to speak of me? Praying at the feet of lotus feet of Rup and Raghunath, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishnadas, narrate Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their steps. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Samaveta Gaurav. Thank you. So it is 10 p.m. I don't want to hold you all long. I'll quickly recite Damodar Ashtak. Again, I'll just sing the first couple of verses. Somehow Krishna hasn't approved my full recovery yet. So speaking isn't so difficult, but when it comes to singing, it will irritate my throat and I will cough. So I'm just trying to avoid that. So let us worship Damodar. I hope you're all doing your lamp offerings at your home and also encouraging others to do their offerings. So let us worship Lord Damodar. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Loshatakudalam Gokule Vrajamanam Yashodabhiyolukhaladavamanam Param Rishtamatyantato Dritya Gopya Rudanta Muhunetram Yugmam Rijantam Karam Bhoja Yugamena Satankanetram Muhushwasakam Patri Rekhanka Kantha Stita Graivam Damodaram Bhakti Baddham Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radha. So this chapter was entitled The Lord's Attempt to Go to Vrindavan. And chapter 17, which will begin next Tuesday, is entitled The Lord Travels to Vrindavan. So that is what will happen after the 4 months. The Lord finally says, I'm going to go alone. No more, too many people with me, and then crowds will get attracted, and then, so it's like that. So those who are very greatly spiritually empowered, you'll always see so many crowds of, because they're so naturally attractive. Of course, Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Lord himself, so he's supremely attractive. But those who are pure devotees, they are carrying Krishna within their heart. That is why they become very attractive. So you'll see those who are very, very empowered, Prabhupada, and also some of his very, very pure advanced disciples. See, wherever they go, crowds will follow them. They're just so naturally attractive, devotionally attractive. I'm not saying attractive that they are looking like heroes and they are walking in style. Not talking about that kind of attraction. It's just that devotional aura that they carry, the aura of love, the aura of compassion, the aura of purity. So attractive that helplessly conditioned souls like us become attracted to them. So anyway, we are fortunate that we are somehow connected, many of such wonderful devotees. And through them, we have access to Prabhupada's blessings and ultimately to the blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So again, remembering the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and thanking him again on his divine disappearance day, let us again pray for his blessings and let us again express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada for saving us and seek his blessings that we remain always in Krishna consciousness, continue to chant the holy names, continue to follow the process of Krishna consciousness, continue to remain humble servants of the servants of the Lord's devotees, and somehow in this great mission of Lord Chaitanya, under the auspices of Srila Prabhupada and his mission, we are able to also contribute in some meaningful way to further the mission. Some way or the other. Doesn't matter whether our effort is small or big. Somehow, let us. If we are not Hanuman, we can be squirrel. That is also okay. Let us do our part. And it can be as small as asking another one person to offer the lamb, Lord Damodar. That's also part of that effort. Let us do whatever we can. Both make our life successful and help others get access to this special blessing, special mercy that somehow has been causelessly bestowed upon us. So with these words, I'll conclude. So hope you also had a blissful Deepavali. So let the light of the Lord's grace, compassion and love continue to spread in our hearts and our lives, and also touch the lives of all those who come in contact with us. So with this prayer, we will end for today. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you. Thank you all for joining and taking your time out to attend this.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhir.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Thank you, Indulekha Mataji, Rita ji, Sini ji, Archana ji, Lila Mataji. Yes, Sridevi ji, you also managed to join back, so that's nice to see. Suraj, Shalini ji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Sneha ji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you.